evaluate this function, first of all, I will look and see what does this mean. So that's my first question to myself. What is this? Ah, it says f of something equals 1 over something plus 3 squared. So if I want to find f of 0, I will put 0 here. If I want to find f of 4, I will put 4 here. If I want to find f of a, I will put a here. If I want to find f of x plus h, I will put x plus h here. That's all I need to do. When I plug in 0, 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 squared is 9. When I plug in 4, 4 plus 3 is 12. 1 over 144, because it's 12 squared. 4 plus 3 is 7. 49. What am I doing? It's addition. It's not multiplication. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 squared is 49. When I plug in a, say it again.
Can't see.
I couldn't hear you, Donnie.
Can't see.
Oh. Yes, I have to see what it's the connector to the camera or something. I'm not sure. So I plug in a plus 3, everything squared. I plug in x plus h, I have 1 over x plus h plus 3, everything squared. So the trick for evaluating is look at the function first and see what it says to you. This is what it says to us. F of something equals 1 over that something plus 3. So when I plugged in 0, I had 0 plus 3, but 3 squared is 9. When I plug in 4, it's 4 plus 3, which is 7. 7 squared is 49. I plug in a, and then I plug in x plus h. Any questions on how to evaluate functions? Oh, this is really annoying. Any questions on how to evaluate functions?
Yes, it's another one. If you go back to the page,
Sure.
it's the long one.
Which one is the long one?
Go back up to 26. Okay, so the 26 and 27. The x plus h minus.
Yes, and this is the next one that we have to work on. Yes, f of x plus h minus f of x over h. This is a very important topic that I will discuss. So the last one, let me add it here. F of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. This is a big topic. I'm not going to name it right now, but it has a specific name, and we'll talk about it. But let's do what they're asking us to do. So for the f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, this is carved in stone. There's nothing we can do here. This is carved in stone. There is nothing we can do here. It's 1 over x plus 3, everything squared. So I already determined f of x plus h. They were asking us to determine f of x plus h on the previous step. So this is 1 over x plus h plus 3, everything squared. So I have all these 3 pieces. Now I have to put them together. So let's do just that. So I'm going to continue with the equal symbol. Again, they're not 2 equal symbols. It just says follow the trail if you want. Follow the equal symbol. They're not 2 equal symbols. It means that I cannot write here. There is not enough room. Just move on, find it, and that's where it continues. H in the denominator. This gets replaced by what we obtained. X plus h plus 3, everything squared, minus f of x, 1 over x plus 3, everything squared. And this is, at this point in time, this is core algebra. This is what you studied in the previous class. So let's do this together. The denominator is just h. There is nothing I can do to it. but the numerator has two fractions and they are subtracted. When I subtract or add, it doesn't matter, but in this case we subtract. When we subtract two fractions that do not have the same denominator, what is the first step that I have to perform? What is the first thing that I need to find?
Common denominator.
The least common denominator. Very good. Thank you so much. Yes. So first here, find LCD, the least common denominator. Perfect. So can anyone give us the least common denominator? What do you think?
Is it H?
So this is one thing.
Would it be x plus 3 squared?
Okay. Anyone else? This is very important, so we need to discuss this. Anyone else? Brian, what do you think the least common denominator will be?
Would it be x plus h plus 3 squared minus x plus 3 squared?
Okay. Anyone else?
Is it 3 squared?
Okay. Anyone else? It's okay to be wrong. This is very important. It's okay to be wrong. We have to discuss this. So, anyone else?
Is it H squared?
Okay. Anyone else?
X squared?
Okay. Anyone else?
If it's not x plus 3 squared, then x plus 3.
No. Anyone else? Okay.
Did you multiply them?
Yes. Yes. So let's discuss this for a moment. I'm going to come back to this page, and I had something ready for you next. I'm going to come back to that page too. So let's say we want to subtract 1/2 minus 1/3. Denominator 2, denominator 3, they have nothing in common. What will be the least common denominator then?
6.
Yes. And please understand what happens next. 2 times what was 6? 2 times what was 6?
3.
Yes. This is not a fraction line. This is telling me, don't forget, you multiply the denominator by 3. You have to do the same thing to the top. 3 times what is 6?
2.
Yes. So then 3 times 1 minus 2 times 1. So this is 1/6. We are applying the exact same procedure. But of course this is 10 times more difficult. Why? Because the denominator is not just the plain number 2, plain number 3. It's a sophisticated expression, right? So, but it's the same idea. These two have nothing in common, meaning factors in common. You can say, but it's the same, x plus 3, x, yes. But this factor has nothing in common with this factor. If you multiply this by something, you're not going to get this. If you multiply this by something, you're not going to get this. They don't have common factors. So that's why, like here, if the factors do not have, if these denominators do not have common factors, is always the product of the two. So that's why we had to write this. But like before, I'm going to ask the same question again. X plus h plus 3 squared was multiplied by what to get this?
By x plus 3 squared.
Exactly what it does not have. And this one, I know it's silly, it's clear, but let's say it again. This was multiplied by what to get this?
X plus
plus h plus 3 squared.
Yes. So now the numerator is this times this minus this times 1. So I'm going to write x plus 3 squared. It's times 1, but minus x plus h plus 3 squared. And this is a big deal. So let's square those one by one. So this, we know the formula. Anyone remembers the formula? A plus b everything squared. What do we get? Can anyone give us the final answer directly without foiling? Anyone remembers the formula, please?
Squared plus 6x plus 9.
Yes. First, so this is a plus b everything squared, which is the first term squared, plus 2 times the first times the second, plus the second term squared. So we square the first term, plus 2 times 3 times x. 2 times 3 times x is 6x, plus the second term squared. This one cannot be done in this way, because it has 3 terms, not 2. So we have x plus h plus 3 everything squared has to be rewritten as x plus h plus 3 times x plus h plus 3. And now we have to distribute x to x, x to h, x to 3, plus h to x, plus h to h, plus h to 3. Finally, 3 to x, plus 3 to h, plus 9. So I had to distribute x to these 3, then h to these 3 terms, and then 3 to these 3 terms. And now I have to combine like terms. X squared is alone. This xh plus 2xh, 3x plus 3x, 6x, 3h plus 3h, 6h, so this with this, and plus h squared and plus 9. So now I have to go back to the fraction. What I like to do is for the square or a triangle, which tells you please follow, jump over all these calculations and continue with the same symbol. And now I will copy everything. The denominator, do not forget about the denominator. The denominators do not disappear. Now I copy this, which is this. Let me know if I lost you. I hope I didn't. Please. X squared plus 6x plus 9. But now this negative symbol has to be distributed everywhere here, because there is a minus in front of this. Minus symbol or sign in front of this. So minus x squared minus 2xh minus 6x minus 6h minus h squared and minus or negative 9. Now I will continue. I notice that x squared with a negative x squared, the negative 6x with a positive 6x, and the negative 9 with a positive 9. I also notice that these 3 remaining terms have a common factor. Can anyone tell us what is the common factor in all those 3 terms? You can say negative, yes. I will factor out the negative sign. And what else?
H.
Yes, thank you very much. And can anyone tell us what is left in parentheses after we remove the h? The negative h.
2x minus 6.
So 2x
Oh, six plus 6.
plus 6.
Plus 0.
But if I put 0, I will never get back this term.
Plus 1.
But if I put plus 1, I will never get the negative h squared. So here's how we check. Negative h times 2x, check. Negative h times 6, check. Negative h times 1, no. No check.
Oh, plus h.
Exactly. We can always stop for a moment and check. Does it make sense, right? Negative h times 2x, check. Negative h times 6, check. Negative h times h, check. Now this is over 1. So I have a fraction divided by another fraction, so I have to flip. 1 over h becomes, h over 1 becomes 1 over h. So we have h in front, and x plus 3 squared, and x plus h plus 3 squared. Yes, only now we can simplify factors. Do not simplify inside terms. We only simplify factors. So the simplified form is this. 2x plus 6 plus h over all this. This was a long problem because of the function. The function made it a long problem. We had a lot of steps to go through here. First, we had to find the least common denominator, and we had a very good discussion on that. Then, we had to find the adjustments for the top. Then we had to expand this and this. It took us a while, right? And then carefully, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by the denominator. So we factored out negative h. We carefully identified the remaining 3 terms here. And then we simplified h, and that is the final simplified form. No one can simplify this any further. This is it. Any questions on this problem?